are going to wrap out our scouting update with Iowa State versus Texas, which was scouted by Shawn Cavalieri. And we do have Shawn on the call. Hey, Shawn, can you hear me?
I can. Good morning.
Good morning, Shawn. I'm going to go ahead and pass things over to Gabe. He's got a few questions for you.
Sounds good.
Hello, everyone. Good morning. Hi, Shawn. How you doing?
Not bad, Gabe. How you doing this morning?
Good, good. Just had a few questions. I was able to see your road report, and it looked pretty good with the footage you sent in. So just want to say thank you for making your trip to Texas.
Thanks for allowing us. We had an absolute blast. It was a great time.
Yes. Were you able to check out any of the tailgate scenes? And if so, how would you describe it?
Yeah, it was wild. I mean, it was an 11 a.m. Start time locally, and I got there, I believe, about 8:15 that morning, and the tailgate was already rocking. I mean, and it's professional tailgating. It's not just some, literally on the back of a tailgate type thing. I mean, they have DJ booths set up and everything else, and it was pretty wild to see the fan engagement and just how elaborate the parties go. And then as you're walking into the stadium, it's like walking into a carnival. They have a whole head thing that you got to walk under, and then all lined up on the left-hand side are like carnival games and different promotions and different vendors handing things out. So they do it professionally, and you could tell they've been doing it like that for a long time. So it was impressive to see at 8:15 in the morning.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that sounds pretty cool. Nice fan experiences. Besides that, was there any other pregame experiences that if you had to recommend for other scouts to check out while they're there?
Any other pregame experiences at Texas?
Yeah.
I mean, I'd recommend, much like the other gentleman was just saying, getting there early and getting down to the field early. It's cool it seats over 100,000. So there's a lot of fans on their way there, and it's good to kind of get to the stadium a little bit early, to kind of get a feel for, even just being next to Bevo and just seeing how massive that creature is. But before everything starts getting wild and crazy, it's good to be down on the field and just kind of, have the ability to talk to some of the coaches and see the teams arrive and just see how it looks as 100,000 people come rolling into a massive stadium.
You kind of answered part of my third question, but so you were a team host for Iowa State recently, and using your team host connections, were you able to catch up with any admin from the Iowa State side?
Yeah, a lot. And that's one of the main reasons why I wanted to get there early. I've actually hosted them 2 of the last 3 years. So I was actually able to spend quite a bit of time with Coach Campbell on the field right before the game, his right-hand man, Skip, the safeties coach, the defensive line coach, and all were super positive and super thankful for their opportunities in Orlando, the hospitality and just the way that they were treated. And the one thing that they kept kind of getting across to me is they absolutely love their team. And obviously, last year's they lost quite a few to the NFL, and they across the board just told me how much more they actually love this team because they worked that much harder. And the only thing that they were disappointed about is they knew, which I, obviously did not confirm nor deny, but they just knew the way that their season was going, they're going to hit it late and they probably going to be out of our window. So they just regret the fact that, they won't probably have, in their opinion, the opportunity to come back to Orlando, but they wanted to send, their thank yous, across the board to everyone, everyone they came in contact with, and thought it was just a first-class experience and hope to have the opportunity to do it again sometime.
That's really nice to hear. So Texas is having a solid season so far, which means that we could be scouting them deeper into the season. Would you have any recommendations for future scouts making the trip today?
Yeah, I mean, I just try to be available because nobody came over to us. So their sites are definitely set higher. We spent the entire game in the press box, obviously down on the field the last 6 minutes, but we're where we were visible and had the ability to, anyone that wanted to come over and say hello or whatever the case may be. And we're definitely not in their sites just yet. The Sugar Bowl was the only other bowl in attendance, and they got pulled away to another location and came back with, drinks and club cups type thing after about an hour or so. So I think that the Sugar Bowl was currently being wooed, excuse me. And even the fan base jokingly after the game came up to us and just kind of said, you guys here scouting Texas or Iowa State? And we just kind of let them know what our role was. And that was Big 12 and, kind of whoever was in our window at the end of the year type thing. And jokingly, they said, well, we don't want to come to you. And we're kind of taken back on that because their last 4 bowl appearances outside of, I believe it was one in the Sugar Bowl, have all been in Texas, whether it was Alamo or the Texas Bowl. So we figured by now they were looking to get out of Florida, and they kind of laughed. They said, with the way that this season's going, we expect to, be in a New Year's Six type game, and that's where our eyes are set. And we had asked, like, all right, so if that doesn't happen, would it be a disappointing finish to the season, or would you be excited to come to Orlando? And they kind of laughed and just said, no, we'd all still travel. Where we weren't bowl eligible last year, so we're excited to go somewhere, but we really want it to be a New Year's Six game. So, but I think any scout that goes there down the line, depending on how the season goes, just be available to see if they start wooing us as well. But their sights are definitely set a bit higher than us so far.
Well, thank you, Shawn, so much. I loved your report, and thank you for coming on here early this morning and giving us your time.
My pleasure. Thanks, guys. Have a great morning.